Hello and welcome to random commentary number 10 with me, One Exploits, and you, whoever you may be. And this was suggested to me, and it is a look at my desktop as well as my Steam game list. So this is my desktop. It's quite cluttered, as you can see. I actually downloaded quite a few Oblivion mods recently, and they're sitting. Like, the easiest place for me to find them is on my desktop, so that's where I download them to. I download the Oblivion script extender as well as the graphics extender as well as natural environments, just to give it a better look, especially coming up to Skyrim. You want it to look as good as possible, so I want the best graphics, obviously. And actually, it's smoothed out my frames per second, which is nice. There's a don't know which mod it is, but it smooths out your FPS. There's quite a few. I downloaded quite a few. I downloaded about 20 mods, but I'm only going to be using the graphical enhancers. Nothing that's going to change the game, the mechanics. Nothing that's going to change the quests. Nothing that's going to change the environments. Well, other than high texture packs. I didn't actually download. I tried to download the Well, I downloaded Better Cities, but I tried it out, and I don't want to use that because it's changing the cities. It's changing the layout of the cities, and I don't want that. I just want to keep it as vanilla as possible, but with the best graphics, because to me it's the perfect RPG. So I want to keep it as vanilla as possible, but just update the graphics, especially with Skyrim coming out. Because once Skyrim's out, it'll look very outdated, probably. It's kind of starting to look outdated a bit. It was a 2006 game, as I say, so like even on PC with high graphics, you need the extenders help just push it a bit higher up, But I don't know if I've got them working correctly or what, because it looks a bit better, but nothing incredibly like breathtaking. But every little helps, I suppose, and I want it to look as good as possible. So that's pretty much that. And what else have we got here? Minecraft, of course, which I haven't played recently. Witcher 2, yeah. Some of these games are off my Steam list. I actually usually put all these desktop items, all these like, if I hadn't taken off these shortcuts, which I don't need because they're all on my Steam list, so I can just access it through my Steam. So it would be flooded with icons of my games that I own, that I've installed. So I usually just drag them into a folder, like called junk or something, which I have somewhere here. Yeah, there it is, junk. That's all my icons. You can see the games. So I just drop them into there, out of the way, so I don't want this massive cluttered. It is half cluttered at the moment with quite a lot of shit. What else have we got? We've got I actually did this earlier, and it didn't record my voice, which was unfortunate, so I had to go back and do it again, which was like half an hour. So perhaps this will be more concise, perhaps not, but I hope so. I got the patcher there. That's from the old GOG version I had. I'll talk about that more later. Cat in the Coop is another stupid one. That's Wirebash for the Oblivion. It's a very good mod installer. We've also got the Oblivion mod manager. Have a look at that just to see which mods I have now. You haven't seen that in my Let's Play yet because I haven't got to that stage. I have quite a lot of footage of Oblivion. It's taking forever to load, of course. I've got Premiere Pro there. That's the one I use for rendering and compiling, putting together my videos and rendering them and exporting them. Yeah, so you can see there. Better Cities, I don't use that, as I said. I have that unticked from my list, so you can see Better Cities. I actually have a clock mode, which is very nice because you actually have an in-game clock to look at the time, and it's accurate time. So if you press T, it'll be exactly the same time displayed on the clock readout as is on your T readout. So it'll be like 1 o'clock in the day. It'll be exactly the same on the clock. in game. So if you have a grandfather clock, though, the only thing is it's quite annoying. It'll ding every hour on the hour. It'll do ding 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 ding. You know that stupid. So it's quite annoying, especially since time goes very fast. It's like an hour is like a minute in Oblivion, pretty much. So every minute or half minute, you'll get ding 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 ding. It can get quite annoying. Alive Waters is a very good mod. You've got you can see through the water. It makes swimming in the water a lot more pleasant, and you can actually see where you're going. So yeah, got quite a few mods. Anvil or Kvatch Rebuilt, which is a good mod, but you have to complete the main quest to access it, which is nice. So you'll actually get to see Kvatch as it was before the attack, which is nice. That's enough of that. Go away. It takes forever sometimes for these things to close down, especially as my hard drive is clogged. Look at this, not responding. The joys of Windows. But I wouldn't trade it because obviously it's a lot better for games than Mac. I mean, Mac is excellent for programs like audio programs like audio production, which is what I used to be into. I'm still into it a lot. Like, as you can see, I have Fruity Loops Studio 10 there. It's a very versatile, very good program. And Reason, which is very good for remixes. You can just drag a MIDI file into that, like a game MIDI file, like say you want to do a remix of the Nintendo theme or the Nintendo Super Mario theme. You just drag the MIDI file into there. You just type into Google Super Mario MIDI theme or Morrowind MIDI theme, and then just drag it in there, and then just change the instruments. So it's pretty easy to do, and you can even rearrange the different tracks, mix it up a bit, you know. This one's a bit more complicated. I mean, it's very user friendly, but for MIDI files it's a bit more complicated. Although the MIDI files is pretty simple. You have to sort out all your plugins and shit, so it can be quite annoying. That's my external audio card. It's a Moto Ultralight MK3 audio interface, yeah, for your instruments. Like, I have a synth here, Roland SH201. I have a couple of mics as well, but the one I'm using at the minute is only a Yeti, so I don't actually need the audio interface here. But the audio interface helps with if you have a lot of tracks in your sequencer. Anyway, enough about that. Got my NVIDIA patch for my graphics card. Actually got this PC quite a while ago, at least 8 months ago I think it was, and upgraded the graphics card from the, I mean, everything in this PC is really good, but the only thing was the graphics card was kind of outdated. The 9800 GT had in it, so I replaced that with a much better 570 GTX, which is one of the most cutting edge graphics card and the best value for money. It's like half the price of a 590 GTX, but like very slightly worse. That's the wrong word. It's like amazing. It's an amazing graphics card, especially for the money. It's awesome value for money. It is still about 300 quid, like 280 anyway, when I bought it. And also put in an extra 2GB RAM to bring it up to 8GB, so it's faster, hopefully, and processing things. Yeah. Ventrilo, used to use that for WoW. Don't play WoW anymore. I quit since December. I must have had this PC in December then, if I have Ventrilo on this, which I don't use anymore. I've just updated this computer, which is good. So I've also got Cubase on it, and Steam, of course. I'll show you my Steam list, which is basically where all my games are, except for a few. Like, I've got Roller Coaster Tycoon there, which is a hard copy, which I bought quite a few years ago, about 6 years ago. And also Fable, which is another, you can't get that in Steam, unfortunately, the Lost Chapters. I actually can't play it at the moment because it says you need Yummy Player, which is part of the actual game Tap, yeah, it was called Game Tap. You have to get Game Tap it's like a monthly subscription, $9.95 a month. I only paid for 1 month just to play Fable, basically, and I played it quite a lot in that month, so it was worth it for the $9.95 that I paid, in my opinion. The only thing is I can't go back and play it now unless I resubscribe for a month. Must have been over a year ago, because I've passed my test well over a year ago. I mean, I've just taken off my R plates there off my car, so that's over a year old, and it's still there on my desktop. This shows you how lazy I am. I got Bandicam recently, which isn't as good as Fraps in my opinion, but it seems to have higher frame rates. Only thing is, I can't get the voice to work. The vocals are all distorted, so I couldn't find a fix for that. I couldn't find any information, so I just went back to using Fraps and start stopping it if it got too low FPS. See if the FPS drops. I found a trick: just stop the FPS until it regains, goes back up to 60, say, and then hit it again. It seems to fix it, which is weird. It's pretty weird because I didn't find that out for the year I had the problem with Fraps. Also got Origin there. Origin is for the only game I have on that at the moment is Battlefield 3, and it's browser based, which I don't like. That's one thing. I already talked about that for an hour, so I don't need to talk about it anymore. This is a very good program, video splitter. I think Mac users get that for free on their computer. That's the only thing. You just import a video in here, and you can split it at any point. So you see, you want to split it there in 2 clips. It'll split that into two clips in the same folder as the original file, which is nice. Cost me $20 though. It's quite steep. You get 3 splits for free, and I used them up, and then I was like, oh shit, I need to do another one, because if like the video is too long, it gets some copyright claim and then gets blocked. Like I got that for Dead Island as well as Deus Ex, so I had to split the file to less than 15 minutes. I've never got a claim on any Oblivion videos or any Witcher videos, which is odd. The more reasonable games, obviously. So let's have a look at our Steam list, or my Steam list even. So here's the library. Got 18 Wheels of Steel, which is a guilty pleasure of mine. Truck simulators, if I can speak. Well, it used to be a guilty pleasure anyway. As you can see, I haven't played hardly any of this. I actually bought hard copies of an older version of this quite a while ago, like back in 2004, when I used to be big time into it, which I don't know why, just like weird just to drive a truck virtually. It's quite odd, but, and here we have one of my last plays I'm doing at the minute, Amnesia: The Dark Descent. 19 hours played it says, but I don't think I've uploaded that much. I think it's because I had a crash in one part, and also the audio and my vocal cut out, so I couldn't obviously upload that, so I had to go back and replay a bit, which I was dreading because it was like the water part, I think it was, yeah. So if you see the water part, if you're wondering why that was so fast, why I got through that so fast, is because I had already played through it because of a crash in my microphone. Stopped recording my voice for like an hour or something. And also I played a bit of Justine, which is even horribler, if that's a word. Is that a word? I don't know. It was more horrible than the actual main game, Dark Descent. And yet it moves. That was part of the Humble Indie bundle. Not that I bought that. I bought that separate for like £1 or something. Audio surf's quite good for your, what do you call it? You can play along to your music, and it creates a track based on your music. So I actually produced some music, so I can play my own music, which is awesome. It's so good. Bought that in sale. Batman Arcane Asylum, Game of the Year edition. Never played that, but obviously I heard about the reviews of it, like 90%, so I had to get that in the sale, but I haven't installed it yet. The reason being, if you see go to my computer here, 2.87 gigabytes free of 931. Yeah, everything is taken up with games pretty much. As you can see, my list is very extensive, so kind of taken up all my room, and I pretty much can't uninstall anything because I like having the option of being able to play when I feel like playing a game, you know. So I don't like uninstalling stuff. But I'm going to buy a new internal hard drive. Like the one I have is only 931 gigabytes, so I have to order another. Going to order a 2 gigabytes, another additional drive, you know, an internal one. So probably 2 terabytes, as I say. So it'll solve all those problems, and I can actually install the games I don't have installed at the moment. At the moment I can't afford to install anything because it's full to the brim, basically. You can have a look. This is my external hard drive, which is where I capture all my footage to for games I let's play. So I've got Amnesia there, Dead Island, Deus Ex. Played quite a bit of Deus Ex, so I have a big chunk of footage. I like to sit down and play an hour or two, especially Oblivion games like Oblivion, so you can get into it. Like you do need to sit down and play them for a good bit. So obviously you need a big hard drive to capture all that footage, especially with Fraps. Bandicam seems to capture footage a lot with a lot less space. Like each of these files is 3 minutes long, and it's like 3.95 gigabytes, so it's quite considerable. If you capture with Bandicam, it's only like 500 megabytes for a 4-minute file or something like that. Oh, don't want to play that. No. Go away. So there, that's a 2.27 2 terabyte drive. It's supposed to be 3 terabytes. It was advertised as 3, but it's like 2.72, which is quite odd. Floppy disk. I don't even think I have a floppy disk. Don't know why that's there. Anyway, back to my Steam list. What was I on? Amnesia. And yet it moves out of Surf, yeah. Batman, Battlefield 2. It says I only have 22 minutes played of it, but actually I've played a lot more than that. Like, well, back when I got it on the hard copy, I played hundreds of hours of this game. So, only reason I only have 22 minutes played on this is because I couldn't actually get it working. It wouldn't let me connect to any server. I don't know what the problem was, something to do with Punkbuster or what, but it didn't work, so I couldn't play it. I spent 22 minutes trying to get onto a server, but failing repeatedly, so that was unfortunate. And anyway, I've got Battlefield 3 now, which is in beta, which I actually did a video on, but I haven't actually played any since I made that video. Looking forward to release though, when I can actually play it and get rank up. It's quite nice, the unlock system they have, but I mean, the more you play a class, the more weapons you'll get for that class, which is nice, because then it's more incentive to play that class. Bioshock, I got that for like £3. That's one of the best things about Steam, is the offers it has. So you can get games really cheap. Like if you don't, like I don't buy every game that comes out new, and obviously I missed a lot of games way back when I was only playing World of Warcraft. I only played World of Warcraft from like 2007 through till 2010 pretty much. Well, although I did quit World of Warcraft back in 2008 to play Age of Conan for a couple of months, and then I went back to it. I was pretty much into MMOs back then, but now I refuse to play any MMOs unless they're free to play. Like got Forsaken World there, which is a nice Asian MMO, free to play. It's a very good game in my opinion. You can pay for mounts and items which will increase your experience gain, stuff like that, which is nice. It's a very well thought out and laid out game in my opinion. It's a lot like WoW, but it's got some, I was just saying, it's kind of like WoW, but it's very similar to WoW in a lot of ways, but it's got a nice experience. system. It's like you get experience boosts from certain events. It's like an event-based MMO. Anyway, you can check that out. It's free to play. You go to store, you go to genre, you go to free to play. You can see all the free to play games on Steam, which is nice. Nice. They recently introduced that. Well, a couple of months ago, anyway. Quite a lot of free to play games on Steam right now. It's nice to have them in that place instead of having to go look for them. You can just download them on Steam. I think there's actually achievements for some as well, which is nice. Where was I? Bioshock, yeah. Bioshock 2, I got them on Steam deal. Like, the Steam has very, very good deals, especially the summer sale and the winter sale are very, very good. Yeah, you get games like £3. Like, I got Bioshock and Bioshock 2 for about £3. Braid, I haven't played much of that. It got 90%, but in my opinion it was overrated because I didn't really like it. But that's just my opinion. Commander Keen, that's like way back before id made Doom even. So quite an old game. Platformer is part of the id pack, which you got every Doom game and every Quake game except Quake 4. So it was like Doom 1, 2, 3, Doom special packs, Doom and Quake 1, 2, 3, Quake special packs. Dark Messiah is a RPG game. Not played that much of it, in only an hour or so. It's quite a gimmicky game, but it's quite fun for the first hour or so, and then it gets a bit boring. As I've said, I've only played 58 minutes. It doesn't even get boring. The reason I stopped was just quite difficult. I mean, unless you're using the gimmick all the time, which can get repetitive. I mean, it's a nice gimmick. It's like kicking people into spikes or using objects to fall on top of them. You know, like you have a stand with boxes on top of it, and you attack the leg of the stand and it'll fall on top of your enemies, or else kicking them into fire. Stuff like that. Dead Island, I'm let's playing that as well. 6 hours so far, and that's all let's played. So that's about how much I've let's played of it. It's quite a fun game, as I say. It's quite like Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2. Not that I've played Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, except for a very, very little bit of Left 4 Dead 2, about an hour or less. I actually played it before this came out, so. Deus Ex, Game of the Year, got that for like £1 in the sale, which is really nice with, I think it was a pack, all three, or two of them. Deus Ex and the second one for £3 or something like that. And Human Revolution, which I'm let's playing also. Really enjoying that game. It's a very, very good game in my opinion. It's really my type of game. I mean, I love choices in games. I love different routes. I love all that sort of stuff. Just the choice of what to do in the game, and what way you act in the game, and how you approach a situation. It's very, very good. Dinner Date, yeah, that was shit. 22 minutes, that's the actual whole game. And in fact, that's me also going back and looking and trying to find, is this really the whole game? And playing through the chapters again, trying to find, is this really the whole game? And I did a video of that, so you can go check that out on my channel, unless you haven't, if you haven't even. Doom 3, a really good game. That I bought that in 2004. Or I didn't even buy it, I played it on someone's computer, and it was a very good game. I played the demo also. PC exclusive it was. I'm not sure if they released it since then on consoles, but I don't think they did. Probably Ed's best game in my opinion, fear wise anyway. I haven't installed it in this yet, but I played it in the past, as I said. Doom 2, that's the old ones from 97 or something. That's part of the Ed pack again, all this. Dragon Age 2, oh, what a fail. I wish they'd made Dragon Age Origins 2, because look at that, I've completed the game, and how long did it take me? 19 hours. How long did the first game take me? 40 hours plus and I actually replayed it. It had proper replay value, whereas this game does not, in my opinion. I mean, Dragon Age Origins had such replay value. It was, you had all the different classes to play, you had all the different races to play, and you started from a different area, and people had a different interaction with you. That's what was the best thing about Dragon Age Origins, was the interaction between you and other people in the game, other NPCs in the game, the way they would react to you, dependent on your race, but dependent on your class. Like if you were lower class, like you had City Dwarf, you had Noble Dwarf, you had Slum Dwarf, stuff like that. It was so good, so much replay value. And the relationships, how you played the relationships, how you interacted with others. You could be nasty, you could be nice to them, and that would affect your relationship with them. And you could actually have like proper relationship in that game. Like you'd see the sex scenes and all that. That was pretty cool. But in this, none of that. It's like stripped back to the extreme, to its bare bones, which is just terrible. Worst game they've made, BioWare, in my opinion. I mean, how could they go so wrong from the first one? Why did they go so wrong from the first game? Why didn't they just make Dragon Age Origins 2? Now it's going to be ages before we get a new Origins game. Well, hopefully we'll get it next year, but I doubt it. And Dreamfall, haven't played that yet. Actually, I've played it on my laptop. Some of these games I have installed on my laptop because they're more laptop, like more casual games I have installed on my laptop, so I can play them offline, like on the train when I'm traveling and other places. Like I take my laptop with me sometimes, or even in bed I can play these games. So that's one good game to play in bed. I also have Torchlight and Shrine are good games, which I don't have installed here, but I do have them installed on my laptop. Duke Nukem Forever, played that on my Let's Play of that. Actually, I did a Let's Play of that. 9 hours played. It's quite a short game, but it wasn't as bad, in my opinion, as some people said. I thought it was actually quite good. Quite an enjoyable Let's Play at any rate. So, yeah, Morrowind. Never really got into Morrowind. Like first Elder Scrolls game I played was Oblivion in 2006. So I actually got that on the PS3 first. So I got it on the PS3. Then about a year later, got it on the PC and installed the mods and everything. Not even a year later, I think it was 6 months later. I got it for modding basically on the PC with the expansion packs. It was my favourite RPG, and it still is my favourite RPG to this day. Just the environments, everything about the game, the immersion. I think immersion is key in RPGs, and this game really immerses you in the environment. Morrowind, not so much in my opinion, because I don't know whether it's the visuals, but it just doesn't. It doesn't do the same job Oblivion does, in my opinion. Even though some people say, like here it says Skyrim has what made Morrowind special, but I think Oblivion was more special than Morrowind, in my opinion. I mean, I definitely prefer it over Morrowind. I mean, I've only played 16 hours of Morrowind. That's ever. Well, back when it came out, I didn't even know about it. Apart from maybe playing a couple of minutes of it on someone's computer, maybe. But Oblivion I've played hundreds and hundreds of hours of, whereas Morrowind I haven't. So maybe it's just because I've played this game first that when I look back at this game, which was the 2002 game, it looks inferior to me. Maybe that's the reason why I prefer this over Morrowind. Maybe if I played Morrowind first, I wouldn't like Oblivion as much, but I played Oblivion first, so I don't like Morrowind as much. It's not the fact that Oblivion's easier. I would like Morrowind's difficulty in Oblivion. Wouldn't upset me a bit. It's all about the environment. It's all about the immersion in the environment. It's such a good environment. Oblivion, it cannot be overstated. And hopefully they carry it through to Skyrim. It looks like they will. But they'll have more in-depth elements like Morrowind had, like the interaction. like the interaction in Oblivion's good and all, but it can be quite repetitive once you're speaking to someone in the same line again. But it's not that bad. It's not that jarring. I mean, it still is my favorite RPG without a doubt. So much going for it, and so little to detract from that, in my opinion. And Fear, I did a let's play of that also. Don't know why it says 18 hours played. I think it's because I recorded the whole let's play on my old hard drive, external hard drive, and that one pretty much broke and crashed and made the clicking noise of death, so I couldn't recover the footage. And that's when I had only uploaded less than half of this let's play, so I had to go back, start from scratch, and play it from the beginning again. That was unfortunate. So yeah, probably my favorite Fear game was Fear, the first one. Fear 2 wasn't as good. Not that I've played that much, as I say. 103 minutes, just didn't have the same feeling as the first game. And Fear 3 didn't either. It wasn't as scary, but it was decent. Like, I've only played 7 hours of that, as you see. Yeah, that's pretty much my let's play. I haven't done much of anything outside the let's play. I think Fear actually took longer than Fear 3, which is odd. Quite a short game, Fear 3. But I'm glad I let's played both of them. I may actually do some of the expansions to Fear, because Fear was the best, I think, the first one. Definitely atmosphere wise, definitely scare wise. Fable 3 recently picked that up, 66% off, and very, very worth the money, because I've played about 9 hours of it now, and I'm looking forward to playing some more of it. I'm really enjoying Fable 3, even though it can be a bit jerky, the movement, but other than that, it's a very solid game, in my opinion. Only thing is, it doesn't have the depth of choice that the first game have. It doesn't have the depth of choice of good and evil that the first game has. The first game was all about the choice. You chose to be good or you chose to be bad, and it affected your character. Your character's look changed. If you're good, like, you could be super bad and have devil's horns and like red eyes and everything. That was so awesome. And then you could be super good and have like a halo above your head. I love that. In this game, it's not so much that. It's more linear, I'd say, but there's still quite a lot to explore, and I am enjoying it. Like, in its own right, it's a good game, but it doesn't quite live up to Fable TLC, The Lost Chapters, which is the first one I played, which was obviously the first game. Having never owned an Xbox or an Xbox 360, I was always intrigued by Fable, but I never got to play it until it came out in the PC in the Lost Chapters. I only got to play it like in 2009, or was it 2010? I'm not even sure. Might have been 2010, because I got it in GameTap. You can see it there. I can't play it anymore because GameTap is a monthly subscription service, so you have to pay $9.95 a month and you get a bunch of games to play. But once you stop paying that subscription fee, you can no longer play the game, so I can't play that anymore. I basically paid for 1 month and then quit. So I completed the game in 1 month or less, and then didn't need to resubscribe, because that's the only reason I used the service, was to play Fable, The Lost Chapters, because I really, really wanted to play the game, and I'm glad I did, because it was a very good game. And it's not available on Steam, unfortunately. I wish they had made it available on Steam. I would pay for it on Steam if it was available. I don't even know why it's not. It's kind of unfortunate. Got Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition. I'm pretty sure I played this when it came out in 2008, but I think I had a hard copy of it then, and since then I bought the Steam version. Obviously it was reduced. I think it was in the sale again. Played 22 hours on the Steam version. I also got New Vegas, played with 21 hours. I've only got 3-4% of the achievements. Weird. I haven't done that much in Fallout. It's a very good game though. Kind of get a bit repetitive, like, but I mean, it doesn't have that. It is an extremely good game, but after a while it just feels like you're doing the same thing over and over, which is weird. but hopefully they release a new Fallout game. I think the guys who originally made Fallout, the guys who made Fallout 1 and 2, they're working on an MMO. I actually applied to the beta of that, so hopefully I get into that and can have a look at that. That should be very, very interesting. Like Bethesda took over from them to make these Fallout games, Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Yeah, we got Far Cry and Far Cry 2, which I got in the Steam sale. Haven't installed those or played those yet, but I have played Fallout or Far Cry back in when it came out in 2004, I think. I didn't have a very good PC at that time. It was decent, but not the best, so I had to pretty much play it on low settings. And even then, it looked amazing. The water texture was just mind blowing back then. So good, and it was a very good game. From the people who made Crysis, they make very graphically high fidelity games. Crysis 2 not so much. Final Doom again, part of the ed pack. Forsaken World, I've already talked about that, the MMO, free to play. Gary's Mod, I'm actually working on a Team Fortress 2 machinima type video. It takes quite a lot of work. Like you load up a scenario and then you have your models and you use the camera to take photos, and then you move the model a little bit, take another photo, move it again, take another photo, move the facial expression, take another photo. So it's like stop motion. The more photos you take, the more smooth it will be, obviously. So that's the way I'm doing it, to do stop motion machinima. Hopefully it'll be quite funny. It's quite funny at the minute, especially the expressions on some of them. You can use the random generator. You can manually tweak it. It's kind of better to use the random generator for facial expressions because it takes forever tweaking with the all the knobs for the facial expressions. Got Grid, not played that much of it, but I got that in the sale for about 75% off also. A lot of games in these Steam sales, like you get the summer sale, you get the winter sale. I'm really looking forward to the next winter sale because I have a lot of stuff on my wish list that I haven't bought, so hopefully it goes on sale and I can get that for like 75% off, even 50% off for newer games. That's the best thing about Steam in my opinion, is the sales. You get so many games that you probably wouldn't have bought because you can't afford 30 quid a pop. Like if I